The fact that Allah has given us the opportunity to represent Him on this earth. It's a transient world, as we know. And this is a world where there is no way we can be stable. No matter what we do, there is instability. But the stability, as I mentioned in summary, is the fact that we make efforts to realize what the true function of our existence is, which is to connect with Allah. This sentence, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un, is the foundation of all conversations. Allah created us, we're returning to Him. Only He is eternal, only He is stable, only He is the absolute, and only He is the absolute good. When we understand this thoroughly in our trials and tribulations in this world, we will begin to realize and become submissive, because ultimately, no matter how much wealth we acquire, how much notoriety we acquire, no matter what we get in this world, no matter how many empires we build, we have to let go of that. Allah says, Al-malu wal-banun, zinatul hayatid dunya, wal-baqiyatu salihat, khayrun inda rabbika thawaban wa khayrun amala. Allah says that mal and banun, your wealth and your family, are the beauty of this world. They're a blessing. And by the way, acquiring wealth and being rich and being a billionaire and living in nice homes is not forbidden in Islam. Islam actually promotes that the standards of our community should elevate. We should all be minimum middle class. Middle, upper class, no problem. Poverty should be eradicated. Islam promotes that. Even in the Quran, Allah says, قُلْ مَنْ حَرَّمَ زِينَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي أَخْرَجَ لِعِبَادِهِ وَالطَّيِّبَاتِ مِنَ الرِّزْقِ. Who made haram for you the good things that God has made on this earth? These are good things for you. And Allah says in the Day of Judgment, it's exclusively for the good doers, the believers. Because Allah says, I am a maker of good things, but I allow you to destroy it. And I cause havoc so that you realize and appreciate the mercy that is given to us. You will notice humans, when they are threatened, they become more cognizant of the value of the threat. You find mothers against drunk driving become more prevalent beings that are going to be very proactive against drunk driving, because somebody they love, especially their children, were killed due to drunk driving. That destruction leads to greater construction. But that doesn't mean we should put ourselves in the way of destruction. We should work to constantly construct, but understand the whole holistic system of Allah's system, that when there is destruction, when there is a loss, when we do have problems and trials and tribulations, it's holistically good, but at the moment it's very painful. It's what we call tough love sometimes. The commemoration of Karbala is precisely the lesson of how to deal with tough love. As I mentioned, no one is more deserving of praise and honor and happiness and pleasure than prophets and Imams. They are chosen agents of God, and their families who God has chosen specifically to deliver the message of Allah. Yet they were the ones who received the most punishment in society. They were the ones who were killed the most. They were the ones who were abused the most, imprisoned the most, lied upon the most. So why is that the case? Shouldn't rationality say that when God chooses an agent, that's the agent that should be the most comfortable? Well, Allah is showing us that on this earth, it's not the prescription as such, though we should make every effort to bring peace and harmony and justice and to live in an equitable, peaceful manner on this earth. But beware, Allah says, that while you do it, the evil forces will come against you. And I'm a true believer that the way we subdue the evil forces is when the good forces become the most prominent figures. When there is a lot of good in society, then evil has a difficult time promoting its destructive manners. But when you and I claim to be good and we are silent and we're not progressive and we're not proactive and we do not prevent evil, then evil will take over us and we will become its slaves. Karbala is precisely that situation where people allowed evil forces to come to power. And when that power reached its pinnacle, it became intensely destructive to the extent that it even lost its vision, such that within the first 3 years, Yazid killed Imam Hussein, desecrated the Prophet's mosque, the masjid, in Madinat al-Munawwara. These are the symbols, these are the foundations of Islam. The very one who's claiming to be the Khalifa in Islam is destroying the very foundation of Islam. This is how shaitan works. He says, I will destroy you from the heart. And then of course the third, he burnt the Kaaba. I mean, if I ask any Muslim in the world today, let's go burn the Prophet's mosque, let's go desecrate it and put monkeys in it and let the dogs wander in the masjid of the Prophet, and then let's take fireballs and cannons and drop it on the Kaaba, which Muslim will tell you you're a good person? Which Muslim in his proper mind? Which non-Muslim will tell you you're a good Muslim? Which person with half a brain will tell you you're a good person? We had a Khalifa who did that, who came and burnt all these three. That abject recklessness can only be possible when the people acquiesce to such leadership. Yesterday I talked about partially that we find today when the presidency is taking place, people with enormous wealth who are liars, cheaters, xenophobes, bigots, Islamophobes, yet they're coming to power. There's all these protests on the streets. I think the greatest protest is when you and I unite as a community, when we look at each other with dignity and we promote goodness and not allow wretched and wicked politicians to reach power. It's easier said than done, agreed, but I believe at the grassroots level, when you and I as a community get together and we work together to unite ourselves for the good cause of reaching Allah in an upright way. فَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا فِطْرَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي فَطَرَ النَّاسَ عَلَيْهَا لَا تَبْدِيلَ لِخَلْقِ اللَّهِ ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ. Maintain your faces upright towards Allah. فَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا. This is the system of God. When you and I promote that, and not bigotry, and not backbiting, and not divisiveness, where we cause backbiting and divisions within our community, then the enemy will use us as agents by which they will promote their wickedness.